She was thrown onto the streets as an infant, grew up as a slave, then ended up owning a slave of her own. This is the life of Aurora.
I was tossed onto the street like rotten fish, abandoned like an old shack in the woods as an infant. My name is Aurora, which means golden. My mother had me, but she didn't want me. I was the unwanted stench of your shoes, the annoying puppy that won't stop barking. Actually, it was for my own good. Babies found on the street became slaves. It's not a great life, obviously, but slaves got food, clothing, shelter, and other necessities. It was probably better than what my mother could have done for me. I was a public slave. Others were private slaves, and that could either be wonderful or horrible, judging by the fact that your master could legally do anything they pleased with you. My best friend was a private slave, and she was great, up until her master beat her to death when we were 13. It sounds bad, and it is, but these things were not uncommon. Most slave owners believed in treating their slaves humanely, but as you can see, there were some that did not. Being a slave was not like being a regular citizen, as you might think, seeing that you have only a few rights, but you were at least treated like a human with feelings and a life of your own. One more little bit of info before we get back to my story. This public-private slave thing started in about the 2nd century BC. Now, being the well-treated slave that I was lucky enough to own property of my own. Shall we go see my home used to be? This was the house, well, room is more like it, that I had to myself. Some of you are thinking, that would be awesome. It was more lonely than anything. My master was a good person, and she treated me well. Unlike some slaves, I was not pushed above my limits, and I got a reasonable amount of rest. It was still not the ideal life, though, especially when I saw regular citizens every day. I earned money and saved up until I had enough money to buy land, to buy myself out of slavery. When I did so, I was 18 and still had enough money to buy land that I would later use for farming.